It is good to have you again. Still on our panel data series, this tutorial focuses on how to use Scatterplots to disseminate information from the panel data structure. The panel data for this tutorial has the following characteristics. It has 141 countries across 7 regions, 4 income groups, 5 inequality categories. The outcome variable is the Gini coefficient, and I have included trade openness as the explanatory variable. We'll be examining the relationship between the Gini coefficient and trade openness across a variety of simulations. Please, to my online audience, much as I would love to assist every one of you out there regarding Stata commands, I don't have all the answers. So if you have any queries regarding the Stata code, please explore any of these options I'm showing you on the screen. It is also essential that you please click on the Stata playlist in the video description and watch these 2 videos, Reshape Wide to Longitudinal Data and Tips to Building Panel Data in Stata, before you watch this video. What we are about to do right now is a build-up of what we've done earlier. Today's tutorial will cover how we can use Scatterplots on the full sample on categorical basis and also plot same for the subsample on categorical basis. I will not be using the menu approach in this video. I'll be using the do file. So if you are ready, join me, load your data, and let's get started. This is a quick look at our data editor. These are the 3 categorical variables indicated, and these are the countries from Albania to Zambia. In my usual practice, the do file is ready with all the codes to be executed. And as usual, I have my log file on, ready to track everything I'll be doing today. Before I execute the xtset command here, please know that Stata has 3 different ways of plotting the scatter diagram. You can use any of these commands as shown on the screen to plot your scatter diagram. Also know that the scatter menu has different simulations, so please consult a Stata manual having the graphics, and please take time to go through that manual. What I'm going to give you today will actually help you to, on your own, plot some simple dynamics within your panel data structure. But if you want to know more, I will encourage you to get across to a Stata manual that is devoted to graphics. So I'm going to execute the xtset CID here to prepare Stata for panel data. I've highlighted it, I execute. So this is the outcome. We are now ready to go ahead with our scatter plots. The first plot will be on the interactions between the Gini index and trade on country level basis. To do that, you have to first collapse the data with this command, then execute the 2-way scatter code. So I am going to highlight the collapse command. I'm also going to highlight browse so that you can see what happens in the data editor. So you can see the data is collapsed, and what you are seeing here are the average values of the Gini and the trade variables. So with this now, we can plot the scatter diagram for all the countries in our data. The code I'm going to execute is a 2-way. It's already written here. You can see it's scatter trade Gini. And I've already indicated that I want the names of the countries to be reflected within the scatter plot. I'm going to execute it now, and let's see how the diagram looks like. So you can see here, this is the scatter plot with all the names of the countries. So with this diagram, you can make a lot of contributions to your work from the outcome of what you can see within the plot. If we check the data editor, as you can see now, we can see that the data has changed because of the collapse option. To get back to what we have before, we have to clear this and reload the data. This is the approach I use, so if you have a better one, fine. But if not, please stick with this approach and you won't go wrong. So I have the command here, clear. I'm going to clear this. So after clearing, you can see the data editor is blank. Then I'll reload the data again. To reload, I come back to here, open, I double click, and I pull up my data. But let me show you something. In pulling up my data, I have this command, use. This is the drive where my data is stored. So I copy all this to my do file. I paste, and I adjust. The reason why I'm doing it is that I don't have to go back to that procedure all the time. So that once I run it from here, my data is restored back into the data editor. Now the next command is to show the average value of the Gini index and trade on a regional basis. So again, we are going to collapse the data, and after collapsing, we'll check the data editor to see how it looks like. So this is the outcome after executing the collapse command. It is now collapsed on regional basis. So now we can plot the scatter diagram. The code is this. You can see trade Gini by region. So I'm going to highlight all this. Remember, my use command is there to restore back what was in my data editor. You can now see the distribution of trade and average Gini index across the 7 regions. So again, you can do the same on income group basis. I'm going to highlight all the commands which I've already modified and execute. On income group basis, this is the distribution of trade and Gini index across the 4 income groups. Let's check out the distribution across inequality categories. The code is modified already. I just highlight everything here and I run. So you can see we have 5 inequality categories, and you can see the distribution of trade and Gini across those categories. A lot can also be said from this Scatterplot. What if you just want to simulate on the subsample and on a particular category? For instance, you want to know the average values of countries within the income group. So what you have to do is to collapse the 2 variables by country name and income group. So I'm going to collapse and I'll show you what is there. Now you can see that we have collapsed the 2 variables along the 4 income groups for all the countries. Now to plot the scatter diagram, we have to sort the income group before we plot. And we sort the income groups using this command, sort income group. Let me sort that and show you what the data editor will look like. So now you can see in the data editor, the income groups are sorted alphabetically in an orderly manner. The countries are also sorted along the lines of their various income groups. So for you to plot the diagram, you have to know the range of observations that these countries fall into. For instance, I'm going to plot the scatter diagram for high income countries. And from the data editor, the high income countries take observations number 1 to number 43. You can see it here to number 43. And I'm going to include this number in the command. So you can see it here to execute the command for high income countries. This is the code. Remember, high income countries occupy observations 1 to 43. So this is the code I'm going to highlight now and execute. So on the screen is a scatter plot for a subsample of high income countries. So you can do the same for low middle income countries, upper middle income countries, or low income countries in the data. I also want to show you how to obtain the average values for the Gini index and trade for the countries along regional basis. As usual, you have to collapse the data, then you sort by region. You can see all the commands are listed here. So let me collapse, sort, and I'll show you how the data editor looks like. So the sorting is on regional basis. From EAP, you can see ECA, LAC, all down to SSA in alphabetical order. So I want to execute this command for countries located in EAP region. I go back to my data editor and I locate the observations, the range of observations where these countries are. So I can see that in observation 1 to 18, because I need this number to put into the command. Number 1 to 18 are for countries located in the EAP region. With that information, I modify the do file. You can see it here, 1 to 18, because I'm executing the command only for countries located in the EAP region, as you can see. So I highlight everything and execute. So here's the scatter plot for countries located in EAP, showing distribution of trade and inequality index. You can say a lot, do comparative analysis based on this scatter diagram alone. Okay, let us look at average Gini index and trade for countries on inequality basis. So on the screen is a scatter diagram for countries classified as having very high income inequality. If you take a look at these codes I'm showing you right now, they contain more detailed specifics for each plot. You have the Y title, you have the X title, how you can label your graphs, and how you can label the entire plot. So if you need my do file, please use the comment section of this video to send me your email address. My email address is on my website. I will definitely get it across to you, but you know I give preference to my subscribers, no hard feelings. But anyway, I'll still send it to you. So please, if you need it, send me your email address and you have it. I really want you to practice on your own. Use the menu interface, you know, get hands-on with Stata. The more you practice, the better you become. Thank you for staying with me. Support my channel for 1,000 subscribers. Tell your friends about Crunch Econometrics. Don't go away. The next tutorial will be on how to create line plots.